Дуру салам. Здравствуйте. Очень хорошо мне как дела. Как вы поживаете? All right, so this is a response video. A YouTube user named Mr. N. Zaribe posed a very interesting question. Well, first he ran his mouth and didn't agree with me and didn't mean to ask a question. It sounded like he was just more saying that I'm stupid and levying accusations. But I thought of a very interesting question when I read his very aggressive diatribe. And here's it is. Here's what it is. So, do styles in mixed martial arts matter more than the person's intelligence and skill level? And obviously, if you take the best of all styles and it works for you and you develop an unbeatable game plan, then you have mastered mixed martial arts. We have evolved from the place where everybody is more than one black belt. Everybody has mastered more than one discipline. Or even if they're not a black belt or master sport or anything of the nature, they have mastered elements and components of mixed martial arts in order to achieve a skill set that can win on a mixed martial arts stage. So, yeah, dude. Yeah, Mr. Enzaribe. Yes, dude. Like a judo guy, a black belt in judo. Hell, a red belt in judo isn't going to like go and win a bunch of mixed martial arts fights because you need more than throws and submissions, right? Even if you go to the old school judo that I learned that had strikes and then like maiming aspects of it, ripping arms out of sockets, that type of thing, like severely hurting somebody, killing people. Even if you know that, you still like need more takedown defense than just and that primarily was the main takedown defense. Was pushing the hands and backing up and using the leverage or a judo leg. Or countering it. They come at you and you counter with some sort of twist and gake or gari or whatever. Or strikes. Strikes. And because, someone comes at you, you've got a nice front blood choke, guillotine choke. Disciplines call it different things. But you have a nice front choke you can go for. You have a knee to the head. You have a strike to the head. You have all kinds of stuff. You can grab the belt loop, take an arm, turn it into a throw. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to combat that in judo. But on a mixed martial arts stage, you need to mix your martial arts. And judo has elements of jiu-jitsu in it. Jiu-jitsu was first, then they later took a lot of the throws and stuff and then kind of classified judo. But that all goes back to the kalari that the sages brought from what is now India. It was ancient Bharat, from the holy mountains, Mount Kailash area. Shoot, you could even, if you want to get super mystical and super esoteric about it, some of these came from the teachings that came from Mount Meru when the Asuras and Suras and Asuras battled. Some of that is mixed in. We can go from Adiyogi to Parasuram to Dronacharya to Ashwatam, and the proliferation of martial arts through the sages and Brahmins that traveled. And the Shaolin monks, that was their backs hurt from meditation. So I don't know if he was an Aryan or if he was I don't know where he was from, but the sage that went up there and taught them what later became that style of Buddhism, he knew martial arts, right? So as you travel, as it goes, it gets mixed with various styles. And Hamzat Chimaev, old Hamzat over there, has element of Sambo. People say he didn't learn Sambo. You learn Sambo from being where he's from. They throw elements of that into everything because elements of their wrestling, their indigenous folk wrestling, became Sambo. So it's chicken and the egg, man. One feeds the other. And since most people up there, it's big in their culture to know martial arts, they train with multiple elements. That's why they're so good at mixed martial arts. Back to that. Now, I have a very extensive and wonderful fight culling record. I haven't done the calculations, but it's 80-90%. 80-90% of the time, you give me two guys, I do 15-20 minutes of research, I tell you which one wins. You know why? Because when I was young, I studied elements of mixed martial arts. I learned Judo, but it had Muay Thai strikes in it. I learned Judo, but it had a lot of niwaza, a lot of ground, a lot of Jiu Jitsu in it. Then, after I got my green belt and I was too young to get more belts, they went ahead and taught me everything up to second degree black belt. I joined the Marines later and did 5 years of Marine Corps grappling, which was mostly elements of jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Now I'm doing Sambo, which is judo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and other forms of grappling that are all added to it. So when I see somebody's elements, I go ahead and classify it to the first thing that it looks like. So even if it's not Sambo, that technique I know from Sambo. And from practicing Sambo, Judo, and Jiu-Jitsu, I go, well, I know what wins because I've seen it. Plus, I'm an analyst. I learned in the Marines from the most dangerous people in the world how to size up enemies as an analyst for warfare. These aren't things that I like to go blah, blah, blah about, because who the fuck am I, bro? I got a green belt in Judo that's 30 years old. All right. Yeah, I learned all the black belt stuff, but I'm 40 years old, man. I've been rolling in Sambo again. I got back into it, but what is my mixed martial arts resume? I don't have one. It's not great. So I'm just some dude from the couch giving my opinions for fun because it's fun to do. All right, man? So if you want to say that I'm wrong, cool. That's awesome. All right? But we'll see if I called it, if they do indeed fight. Because history will show that I do a very good job at that. Now, y'all people start liking and sharing and I get paid to do this, then you're going to get a lot better product. And I will do a lot more research. And my analysis will go up. Because history has shown that. All right, man? But, yeah, okay, yes, I can't go, well, this guy knows 5 years of jiu-jitsu and that guy has high school wrestling, so jiu-jitsu is going to win. Yeah, of course you can't do that. You can't just say time in one discipline equals whatever versus someone else's time in discipline. Well, he's a black belt in judo and the other guy's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Black belt in judo is going to win. You can't do that. No. But what I can do is I can say that Khabib Nurmagomedov at 20 whatever and 0, by the time this comes out, who knows, right? If I post this before or after the Justin Gaethje fight. But I can't say that, oh, well, he's a master sport in Sambo and Justin Gaethje is a collegiate wrestler, so master sport of Sambo wins. Okay? I can't do that. But what I can say is that, okay, the elements that he does at master of sport Sambo level, the elements that he does, again, mixed martial arts with his black belt in judo, plus his master of sport in wrestling, I can safely say that he uses leverage that is going to outclass what I have seen from the opponent. That's analysis. But even if I wanted to wing it and was like, man, my gut says Israel Adesanya is going to beat Paulo Costa, even though I didn't see it on tape. Well, guess what the fuck what happened? Israel Adesanya beat the shit out of it. I'm not coming here thumping my chest and saying I called it because I didn't outright call it. I think that's fair. But I kind of did call it because I said I think Israel Adesanya is going to win. But since I said I think instead of say he will do it definitively, I didn't go fucking count my medals. I didn't go put on my laurels. I didn't go out here bragging. I'm not really braggadocious anyway, but if I am right and you are wrong because you wrote some bull snot on my post, I will rub this in your face. Mostly I'm being playful, man. You gotta be playful. Krishna teaches that in order to successfully navigate through life, you must take good things and bad things playfully. So that's what I'm doing. This is mostly just to be playful. So yeah, you're right, man. An individual who is a savant with a high IQ, who's trained in multiple disciplines, has an advantage over somebody in one discipline who has mastered the one discipline. Yeah, okay, cool. And yes, it does go back to the individual fighter on the individual day with all of the vast dynamics that go into any situation, let alone a mixed martial arts fight. And there's corruption in the judges. So there's all kinds of factors that go into it. But I absolutely can say that I see elements in this guy's particular martial arts that I think beats elements in the other guy's particular martial arts because history has shown that. History has shown that it doesn't matter if you have a black belt in Jiu Jitsu, if you can't strike and you're facing a world-class striker, they will fuck you up. Khamzat Chimaev versus Meerschaert. Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa is well-versed in grappling, but he didn't take the fight to the ground, so Israel Adesanya's elite, world-class, superior striking won. Khamzat Chimaev isn't as good at jiu-jitsu by the belt system. I think he's better at jiu-jitsu, just from what I've seen. Oh, look what I just did. I didn't do the thing you said I did. Anyway, and I called that fight. I mean, I called that motherfucking fight. How was I able to do that? Because I looked at the elements of the components. I applied some analytical procedure because I was like, well, Meerschaert doesn't have the takedown, and Khamzat's got that takedown from a few different disciplines. Plus, he's got a right hand that's gonna just his right hand gonna break a wall. His right hand could punch through the three worlds, bro. Come on. So, man, I've even forgot what you wrote. But I don't care. I don't care. Agree with me or don't agree with me. I'm going to keep doing this, and I've got a few loyal fans, and for you guys, what's up, man? And Rob East, a shout out, my man, always posting good stuff on my stuff. All right, so yeah, I hope this answers and clarifies and further defines my opinion, just my dumbass opinion, on mixed martial arts and how to not only analyze a fighter, but analyze a fight because it's fun. It's part of the fun is to guess who's going to win and why. It's an extra element. It makes it interactive. It's more than just watching a hideously vulgar, violent spectacle. It puts us in an intellectual realm. It multiplies your discipline. It would mix your martial arts even. All right, guys. Judo Hafiz. May the protector be with you. Peace.